Hello everyone, welcome back to BrickSide Chat 35. I just shot this and the camera didn't record, so this is take 2. Welcome though to another BrickSide Chat. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of these. I can't remember why, but it's been like 3 weeks or something like that. But I like doing these because they're relatively quick for the most part, unless you have to shoot it twice. In addition to that, you guys asked some great questions, and I feel like we get a lot of good information out there that we probably missed in kind of the normal videos. So I love this series personally. First question here this week is from Toby, who says, have you ever thought about unboxing sets you don't want or excess copies of sets you do have and selling them on BrickLink for other sellers? Unboxing them first would make them a little bit easier and cheaper to ship. And a second question, kind of very similar, is from Mardi Gras Man 23, who says, do you foresee any of the low priority sets turning into investment sets or hold on to sets? Or do you just see that you'll list them and sell them as complete sets? And this is in reference to the haul video we did last Wednesday, where we got a ton of Lego, filled up the whole table here. But I talked about that Sister Party Crew set, that Lego Movie 2 set, that just doesn't sell super well. Most of the parts and stuff in our store, and we parted like 15 of them out already. We have another 19. So I think that's mostly what these questions are about. I do foresee us potentially listing them on BrickLink, though we're not going to list them on BrickLink for the average price or like a low price. We're not going to try to get rid of them. We'll probably list them a little bit higher. So if anyone wants them, they can absolutely purchase them and stuff, but we're not going to try to get rid of them because they will still add more parts to our store. It's just not going to be a priority when we're parting things out. Those are going to sit for a little while because there's other sets that we haven't added to our store before that'll add brand new lots, and that's what we're really trying to do right now. From Mardi Gras Man's question, are they going to turn into investment sets? Most likely not. Most sets that we purchase, maybe not most sets, but a lot of the sets that we purchase probably won't increase in value like crazy over the next couple of years. In addition to that, we really don't have a place to store a ton of stuff like that. So for example, if we had a lot of sets that we just considered to be investment sets, they probably wouldn't be stored in here, and we'd have to find a place that would be safe, obviously, to store them. So we're not really hanging on to things for investment at the moment. I do have a couple things right there, but we'll see if we even do that or if we just part them out. I'm not entirely sure yet. We probably won't hold on to anything for investment, but we might sell them on BrickLink, just try to get rid of them. Next question is from John Wick, who says, is the new LEGO Ninjago City Gardens set worth parting out? Now, at the time this question was asked, there was no part out value yet on BrickLink. I think today, or maybe yesterday, or a few days from when this is posted, part out value was just added on BrickLink, which is, I think, $1,288, so almost $1,300. Now, for purchasing a $300 set, that's over a 4 times part out value. That's pretty good. So yeah, it is a good part out value. When this question was asked, I had no way of answering that. I would have probably said yes, just due to the piece count and stuff. The piece count, the price, and then the uniqueness or the lot count in it as well, the variety of pieces. So I probably would have gone along the side of yes, it's most likely something worth parting out. Now that there is a part out value, you can say definitely it is. But again, it is a brand new part out value. It is going to decrease a little bit over time. I don't expect to see it decrease though below like $1,000. If it goes down below like $1,000 or $900 or something, then it might not be worth parting out. But $300 set parting out for at least $900, that's what we need to hit in our store, or for the most part. So I would say it is worth parting out. We probably won't get any though, just because they're a high value item that take a long time to part out, that we need multiple copies of. There's a lot of logistics in there that make it a little more difficult to purchase. Next question here is from Drew, who says, would you part out poly bags if you found a few of the same on clearance for like $1.50 and the part out value was $10? Absolutely. We don't part out a ton of poly bags anymore. We did have quite a few at the beginning of 2020, the first few months that we kind of sourced at the end of 2019, early 2020. But since then, we haven't really parted many out. We just don't have them for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. But yeah, we would part out poly bags all the time. I actually like parting them out. They're very fast. You can put them in the drawers pretty quickly. They're, lower lot count, so it doesn't get you up as much. But some of them have crazy part out, multipliers, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the part out value. You can get a poly bag for like $1 and it parts out for $12 or something. It's like crazy. So obviously when that's the case, it's fantastic. And I do like parting out poly bags. For some reason, we get this question kind of a lot, almost like maybe we've given false information that you shouldn't try to part out poly bags. I'm not entirely sure. But usually, for whatever reason, in Southern California where we are, we cannot find poly bags at a good enough price that they're worth parting out. I don't know why. It's kind of sad because I like parting out poly bags. But another question from Drew, also asked by Finder87, is how often do you get parts for your store from the Pick-a-Brick walls from the LEGO store? Pretty much never. I think last time we did it was February of last year. Part of that obviously is, what happened in 2020 and stuff, and everything was closed for a little while. But in addition to that, the Pick-a-Brick wall is not necessarily going to be the best place for you to source parts. Now I'll tell you why. When you go to the Pick-a-Brick wall in, say, Southern California, the variety in the pieces that they have there is going to be something very similar to what they're going to have in New York or Florida or Pennsylvania or Wisconsin or wherever you are. They're going to be very similar in terms of the parts that are on the wall. So what that means for your BrickLink stores, if you go into the LEGO store and you purchase a ton of things off the Pick-a-Brick wall and you add them to your store, people are probably not going on BrickLink a ton to find those specific pieces because they can go to their LEGO store. Now, they may not know that, but they went to their LEGO store, got a Pick-a-Brick cup, came home, see what they have. Now they're going to go on BrickLink and find the additional pieces they need for whatever they're making. Now, obviously, if they went to the Pick-a-Brick or the LEGO store and got the Pick-a-Brick wall stuff, you already have that in your store, but they're not going to look for that because they have that as well. So while the part out value of a Pick-a-Brick cup is generally very good, depending on the pieces you get, of course, it generally sells a little bit slow. So it's up to you, I guess, but we don't really source a lot of our LEGO from the Pick-a-Brick wall. It generally just sits in your store for a while and slowly sells, but it's usually not worth it. Next question here is from Doug, who says, is there any particular rhyme or reason to how you pick what pieces to pull from a pile or each particular bag first through last? Now, I don't think that question made any sense, but I understand what he's saying. In terms of it, when we're parting something out, if we open the box, we pour all the bags on the counter, and we open all 4 boxes or whatever we have, there's no reason as to why we pick a certain bag out of there first. We kind of just pick however. Sometimes if certain bags have clearly more colors, like let's say one bag has mostly white and the other has mostly green and the third bag has mostly white, we might do those 2 white ones kind of next to each other and then the green one, or the green one and then the white ones. Probably wouldn't do white, green, white, but that's just because it makes it easier when you're parting out. Other than that, you can pick whatever you want. We just make sure we have the right numbered bags. If you accidentally open up bag 1 and bag 2 and pour them out, well, then you have to open up the rest of bag 1 and bag 2 and pour them out together, unless you just do that one and then go to bag 1 or something. But pretty much it's just whatever we want to do. When we're shooting part out party videos, it's usually we all put them in the bins and then we just try to each find which one's like the easiest. And generally the hardest bag is left over last, but just depends. Totally up to you. Next question is from Gaming Alex, who says, I want to open a BrickLink store, but I don't have a high budget. Do you recommend buying LEGO dots for more lots and high part out value? Simplest answer, I would say no. I do not recommend LEGO dots in terms of trying to make money selling the tiles in your store. We added a few LEGO dot sets maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago now, and they haven't sold to my knowledge. That's not true. I think Paul said that a few of them sold in one order, but I've never picked an order in the past 3 weeks since we added them. And I would say they probably don't sell super duper well, just because I don't think people are searching for those parts. In addition to that, a dot set is relatively cheap, like the little accessory ones. They're like $3 or $4, I think. So if someone wants those tiles, you can pretty much go get 1 or 2 of those, and it's easier than going on BrickLink and paying shipping and all that kind of stuff. So I have not seen them sell. Paul said I think 1 or 2 of them sold in an order. Other than that, I would recommend against dots. But we've also only parted out the little accessory packs that only have the tiles. We haven't done anything like the cups or the bracelets or any of those stuff. So who knows? They might sell, but I would personally recommend against it. Next question is from Ziga, who says, do you think retired city road plates will increase in price on BrickLink? I do. I think over the next year, 2, maybe 3, the price of the old base plate road plates is going to increase. Reason being, LEGO just retired them and started up the new buildable road plates, which I think are pretty cool, but definitely people are either want the old one or they want the new one. They don't mix together super nicely, in my opinion at least, so for those who like the old one, they're going to continue to try to buy the old one, which means the price is going to have to go up on BrickLink because the demand is going up and the supply is going down, so they're going to want to try to get those over there, and they're going to have to cost more because LEGO is no longer manufacturing them. So I would think, yes, that they're going to increase on BrickLink over the next year or so. Okay, final 2 questions here. One from Mike Has It and one from the Great Brick Lab. They go hand in hand, though. It's about customer service. Mike says, Evan, how do you deal with customers stating that they're missing pieces in orders? I've had 2 new BrickLink users buy from me and state that they're missing pieces. I know that they're not missing pieces, as we double count all the orders and a second person counts the orders too. Any thoughts? Yeah, so in our, a lot of the time, I think, fortunately, we haven't really had this problem where people say they're missing and we're confident. We're never 100% confident if it's packed right. We don't double check it and then have another person double check it. To us, I think in terms of workflow, that would take too much time. When we deal with problems, we like to go under the motto where the customer's always right, or the customer's always, I don't know where I put air quotes there, but the customer's always right. That doesn't 100% mean, necessarily mean they are always right, but there's a lot of options or a lot of ways that a piece could get to them, or sorry, a piece could not get to them. So you may pack all 50 of this little 1 by whatever in that thing. When it gets to that customer, there's many ways it could have come out of the envelope or the box or whatever in shipping. They could have, poured out the bag of pieces, been sorting and dropped one, and it went under the couch or under their bed or under a table or wherever, and they can't see it. And so in their case, when they opened it and they didn't realize they dropped one, they do believe they're missing a piece. There's a lot of things that could happen that could lead to someone saying that they're missing a piece. It's not necessarily the customer being dishonest. I'm sure certain people are, but for the most part, I'd say if someone says they're missing a piece, they probably are in some fashion. It may not be your fault, but they might be missing it. So if they are missing it, what we do, and this is kind of what Chris says, or what his question is, he says, what are your policy on customer service issues like missing parts from an order, damaged parts, or unsatisfactory performance from their side, and how often does this happen? So in terms of, Mike, for example, if a piece doesn't get there, and when Chris says missing parts from an order, what we will generally do is if we have that part in our inventory, we'll package it up and we'll ship it out to them, and then we will generally refund the entire lot. So not just the one piece. And the reason we don't refund just the one piece they're missing is because pieces are like 3, 5, 7, 10 cents, If it's a minifig, maybe it's $3 or $4 and it makes a little more sense, but if it's just a piece, it's like 6 cents. What is a 6-cent refund to a customer? In my opinion, I wouldn't care if you kept the 6 cents and I didn't get the piece, or you gave me the 6 cents back. It doesn't really matter. So if you give me the refund for 50 cents, the whole lot or something, at that point it's starting to make a difference. But even that, 50 cents is still not a ton. So what we will also do is we'll apologize. We will ship out the piece as long as it's in our inventory. We will refund that lot. And we will also generally, depending on how much the shipping was, refund the shipping cost or a portion of the shipping cost to the seller. To the buyer. Now at that point, from their perspective, they see a few things. One, they saved money on shipping. They got free shipping. They got these pieces for free because the whole lot was free. And they ended up getting that additional piece that they asked for. So, in theory, when they think of their whole transaction, they might remember that a piece was missing, but they should also remember that the piece did end up coming. They shipped it to them, or we shipped it to them. They got a refund on shipping. They got a refund on those pieces, and we handled it very quickly. All of our things, we try to handle any issues same day, so that that customer on their end feels like they're very valued, and we're trying to fix a problem really quickly. Now, this does make it so that mistakes cost a lot more. If we make a mistake, it's going to cost us a minimum of, let's say, $8, roughly, because we have to refund their shipping and we're going to pay to ship out that additional piece in another package. So a mistake on our end is very expensive for us to fix, but I think it's worth it to get that customer to remember our store and remember the customer service and the good experience they had even with a problem, and hopefully come back to our store. So hopefully that's our goal. Chris asked, damaged parts. We haven't had a single damaged piece yet, or not that we know of. No one's told us about a damaged piece. But unsatisfactory performance from their side. We did have this one time, a few months ago, maybe October or November. We had a minifig that we shipped to this buyer, whoever they were. I don't remember exactly, but shipped to this buyer. It was a used minifig, some of the first used pieces we'd added to our store back late summer of last year, and they said I didn't notice it, but they said the legs were really faded, and they left neutral feedback for that, because they said it was no problem, they had replacement legs. I don't remember if the legs were faded or not. I would imagine that one of us would have seen that when picking the order or adding those parts. Maybe we didn't, that's okay. But unfortunately, the customer never reached out to us. Had they reached out to us, would have refunded the minifig and the shipping cost in that case, and said, I apologize for this problem. Then we might have got positive feedback. Unfortunately, they just went straight to neutral feedback and didn't try to solve the problem. So that was the only unsatisfactory thing on their side that we've ever had. I assume as we get into the used game, as we're adding used now, we will have a lot more of that, because quality is I don't know. I guess it's an opinion as to whether you think it's like new or brand new or used or whatever, in terms of adding all the used parts to the store. So Chris says, how often does it happen, though? It doesn't happen often. I'd say maybe once a month we have a mistake on an order, probably about once a month or something like that. But other than that, we generally don't have too many problems, and we try to solve those customer service problems that, like, day of, generally makes the customer a little bit happier. Yeah, lots of questions, lots of customer service stuff here at the end. Hopefully you guys found this video interesting or maybe entertaining. I don't know, probably not entertaining, but interesting. Maybe you learned something from this video, or maybe you guys' your own question was answered in this video. If you have any questions, you'd like them answered in the next BrickSide Chat, you go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. As I said, if you found this video interesting or helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. That'd be really helpful. And for all of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. It also helps us out. We got to 3,000 subscribers. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. We're actually way above 3,000 all of a sudden. Like, it went really, really quickly. But all I can say is thank you to everyone out there who has clicked that subscribe button. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you all in the next video.